So this is, let me move this cup for you. This is my 40-gallon fish tank. As you can tell, it's not as heavily planted as I'd like it to be, but this is a start. We have 3 fake plants that we got from PetSmart, and the fish really seem to like it for the most part. We also have a hidey hole. It's like a little vase thing with a hole in it. You can also see that there is an opening at the top, so they can go in through there and come out the top. So, and there's also a piece of wood that we tried to place this aquatic moss. It's a live plant on this, because then the lady at the store said it would grow over it. However, when I reached my hand in here to fix the rocks, that moved from there to there. So as far as I know, it's gonna grow on there. So we also have a skull in there and 3 little mini moss balls that we got that we were told that our beta would like. Can't really see him there, but this is our beta fish. We named him Fluffy. It's kind of hard to see him, but he's really cool. And interesting enough, I didn't know this, but beta can live in a communal tank with other fish as long as they are bigger than him and don't look like a beta. So we have 3 mollies here. We have a Dalmatian, just a orangish molly, and then this white one here. This one's name is Pearl. That's Garfield, and that's Pongo. I don't know if you guys ever saw 101 Dalmatians. I'm sure a whole bunch of you have. And that's the male dog from that movie. There's these frog. This is what our little dwarf frogs look like. They're really goofy and really cool and really fun pets to have. And they just swim around. They need air, so as you can see, I've left, room for air for them to breathe, because they, even though they're aquatic, they still breathe air. So, anyways, on to my next tank. Oh, wait, you can see him right there. The little babies. And there's our Dalmatian, Molly. There's also, there's one more fish in here that I can't find right now. Is he gonna go up for air? No, just swimming around. They're so goofy. They just, wherever they land, they stay. So there it is. So this is my albino Cory. So they're really cool. They're basically the baby, I don't know, some breed of catfish or a knockoff cat. They're bottom feeders. So they just hang around on the bottom usually. These molly go to the mid tank to the top of it. Beta stays around mid tank top. So ours does, at least. Moving on to the 3-gallon, we have some beautiful little panda Corys in the corner. We have 2 of these, and as well we have 2 of these beautiful clown plecostomus. And these guys are gonna get roughly 3.5, 4 inches long, and they live for about 10 years. So these guys are really good pets if you're looking for a companion that's gonna stay around for a while. So these are pretty good pets to have, and they're supposedly easy to take care of. The max tank that you should have those guys in is actually a 20-gallon, so we kept 2 of them so you can have them in a 40. So, and we got them mainly for tank management because there's a lot of algae buildup. As you can tell, this water is already slightly dirty, but I was told that you're not supposed to clean the tank as frequently as, you'd think, mainly because it can stress the fish out and shorten their lifespan. And that's what happens to the plecostomus. These guys, from overstress and dirty water, etc., they can shorten their lifespan by quite a few years. So you want to be careful about that, to not stretch your fish out, etc., and just to have a calm, clean environment for them. Because they are bottom feeders, and so whatever, algae buildup they will eat. So that's why you have to be kind of careful. And anyways, so the next animal on my list is one of my favorites. And the reason is because she uses all of her muscles to move, and she has no legs or arms. And her name is Verdi, and she is a baby standard ball python. And we got her a little over 2 weeks ago, And recently I've fed her twice since I've gotten her. So technically it's been a week and a half because we got her on a Wednesday and I fed her on a Sunday. So yeah, a week and a half roughly. And funny enough, we did end up losing her. I say lose with quotes because we didn't really lose her. We just misplaced her for like 30 minutes because stupid me, we put her in something that she could get out of, and she ended up slithering away, and she was hiding under the covers on the bed. So that's where we found her after ripping the entire apartment apart and shoving all of our cats into the bathroom together, and they didn't really like that. So, but we found her, and it was very stressful though, because if you lose a snake that small, it's scary because it's like they could go anywhere technically. Like she could have gone out of the room, you know, she could have, you know, gone inside of our dresser, which she did the other day. She went behind one of the drawers and it was really hard to get her out. That was not a fun time. But anyways, let me show you Verdi, and I'll tell you a little bit about her. So this, let me move this, is my reptile enclosure. As you can see, we have a lot of places for her to hide. She's got her little, I call it her pool, but it's basically a water dish. It's a big water dish. And we have this little cave thing that she can go under and hide in. And we covered it with some terrarium moss, which we got from Petco. And just put it all around there, filled in some of the crevices. We got this piece of wood, and she loves to lay on it. We also have this heat lamp. I don't know what the voltage of that bulb is, but it's just a basic heat lamp. And then we have this little tree thing that's got a, this side is open, that's open, and she can get out that way. She can go up in here, and there's no opening here. So she can basically hide up in there, which is what she does sometimes. But let me show you Verdi. Oh, and we also have our thermometer right there. So for, you know, just to make sure that she's at a good temperature. And right now she's about 90 degrees, which is what she likes. So this is Verdi. And I think she's asleep right now. I'm not 100% sure because they don't have eyelids. And so her eyes are always open. And when we first got her, she actually had some shed left on her head. And so what I did is I soaked her for about an hour and a half maybe, and then I used a little Q-tip and just gently rubbed on her head, and I was able to get the excess shed off. So and a reason that I did that is because I looked it up, and supposedly if shed stays on a ball python or any snake's eyes, they can go blind. And so that was my main concern and why I was so adamant about trying to get it off. But she's very small, so my hand next to her, she can fit in my hand. She's very friendly. She's in a ball right now. So the reason they're called ball pythons is because they curl up into a ball like this. And they do this when they're frightened or, you know, intimidated by something. They become very small. And the only reason she's doing this, I am guessing, is because I just fed her a jumper mouse or a hopper yesterday. And those are basically juvenile mice. And so she's digesting right now. It takes 2 to 3 days for her to digest. And so we leave her alone for about that. And I've been, you know, I spray her twice a day. And basically what you do is I use this spray bottle and douse her entire enclosure with it, just to make sure she stays hydrated and that the humidity stays at about 80, 90-ish degrees so she stays comfortable. And so anyways, this is Verdi. Yeah, and she's gonna get about 4 to 7 feet long. And so she lives in a 40-gallon enclosure, which she currently cannot get out of. And we don't need clamps for the lid yet because she's not big enough to push it open. And so she lives comfortably in this. We got this enclosure so we wouldn't have to size up anytime soon. And so in general, you can keep a ball python in a 20-gallon tank, but as soon as they get to about 2-ish, 3 feet, they should be in a 40-gallon tank, just for comfort purposes, and because if they're in a too small enclosure, they can become uncomfortable, and I just would assume it's not good for the snake's health. So this is Verdi, and she is our baby ball python, and she's a standard ball python. So yeah, that's Ferdy, and I'm gonna move on to our cats next. So I currently have 6 cats with my girlfriend, and their names are, I'll go from oldest to youngest. So I almost called him Samantha because we call him that when he's in trouble. So his name is Sammy. He is about roughly 4 years old. He is a cream colored, I would assume tabby cat. And he's, got white, he's got socks, like white socks on his feet. There's also Mowgli. He's third youngest, so I guess I'll just do the orange boys first. So there's Mowgli, he's a long hair orange tabby. And then there's Milo, who's a short hair orange tabby, and he's the baby. He's a kitten that I recently found. All of our cats are rescue. None of them have come from a breeder. Catherine, my girlfriend, got Sammy a little less than a year before she met me, and then we got Kitten because one day Catherine was having a really bad day and we did want a kitten, so we decided to go to the SPCA and pick out a kitten. And Kitten is black, and she was the only black cat there. And I get why people don't get black cats because a lot of people are superstitious. However, they tend to be in shelters quite a lot longer than other cats for this purpose, or this reason. And so we scooped her up and took her home, and she was 2 months old, and she was the only kitten available that day, and everyone was ignoring her, so we decided to take her home. And then there's Blue. She's a blue Russian, and she is gorgeous. She's very timid, very shy. We found her at our apartment complex, and she was scratching on our glass sliding door, and, I opened it, and she jumped straight into my arms. It was about 100 degrees outside, and so I'm assuming she just wanted to come inside because it was cool, and she didn't know where to go. She looked like she was someone's cat because she had been spayed, and she was shaved on her belly, and that's how I knew. But we took her to the vet. She wasn't chipped, and so we kept her for about 30 days, and no one claimed her, and so we ended up keeping her. And so that's that. Then there's Lumpy. She's the weirdest one out of the bunch. She's the weirdest looking one, I would say, rather. She's a Siamese calico snowshoe mix. She's very fluffy, and she gets grouchy. She's got these gorgeous blue eyes. And I just love her so much. She's my favorite. So there's that. And so, yeah, I think that's about it. And I found Lumpy right outside our complex. We have a little porch area, and then we have this wall that divides the porch from, the outside. And so it's very private. And so we were driving home one night, and when we came home, we pulled into our parking space, and I see this little white cat sitting on our porch wall. And I'm like, oh my God, I want this cat. And so I was like, I have to save this cat, because in my brain, I was like, this cat's going to run out in the street, because we live right by a very busy road. People go very fast there. And so I was like, okay, this cat's going to, get hit. And so I got out of the car very slowly, but she got scared and ran up the apartment stairs, because we have this staircase that goes to 2 other apartments that are 2 other units upstairs. And so basically I go up the stairs, and she's basically cornered, and she hisses at me, but then she comes to me and sniffs me, and I scoop her up. I knock on the apartment door, which was where she was near, because I thought it'd be their cat, and they answered the door. They already have a cat, and they were like, this isn't our cat. So we were like, okay. So we ended up taking her in, and we were going to bring her to the SPCA, and we went there and asked if we could just drop her off, and they said, well, you have to keep an animal for 30 days. And that's what we did with Blue, and why we ended up keeping her. But we found Lumpy before we found Blue. So we'd been through that before. So we knew how it worked, and then we just ended up keeping her. And real quick, story about Milo. When one day Sammy and Blue went missing, and so we were looking for them, and we looked for about an hour and came home, and then Sammy ended up being under one of our neighbor's cars, and he was waiting, because he doesn't go very far when he gets out. He knows where he lives, he comes back. But Blue, on the other hand, she didn't come back for over 24 hours. So that was fun. But anyways, when I was looking for Blue and Sammy in the apartment complex next to us, because there's a complex right over there. So basically, I was walking around to their parking lot, looking under cars, trying to see if there was a cat there, you know, if it was our cat. And I see this little tiny, teeny baby potato kitty. And I'm like, "Hi, kitty," and he runs away from me. You know the deal with like stray cats. And so I left him alone. And the next morning I hear him meow, and then Blue is outside this window. So they got outside this window by pushing the screen out. Sammy jumped out, and I think Blue followed because Sammy's the only one big enough to push it open. And so after I found Blue, the next morning, because I had left a crate with a blanket in it, some food, and a litter box out there. This little kitten had been sleeping in the crate all night. And our friend Ellie was over, and so she looks out, the blinds, and it's like, the kitten's there. And she's like, "Grab him." And so I quietly opened the door. He looked at me and didn't do much, put his head back down, and after he did that, I shut the crate door and closed it, and that's how I caught him. And it took about 2 weeks for him to adjust to the other cats, and so that was fun. But he's getting along with them very well. All of our cats pretty much get along. They like to bully Blue, but that's about it. Like, they all mess with each other at some point because they're very petty. They're cats, so it's expected. But anyways, let me show you my cats. So this is Sammy. He's the oldest. He's a very good boy. He knows how to sit. Hello. Yeah, he likes pets. This is Mowgli. Hi. This is... You can't really see his face because he's covering it with his paws, but... This is Momo. He's such a sweet boy. He's so sweet. I love him very much. So, that's Momo. And that's Sammy. Unfortunately, Lumpy is under the bed, which means that, she's unavailable. But this is Lumpy. She's very sleepy. She likes sleeping under the bed, but she's a sweetheart. Look, she loves giving kisses. She loves to give the kisses. Yeah, she's a good cat. She's my favorite because she's got like a half face. She's got half brown, gray, half white and cream. Yes. Yeah, but the reason they call her a calico is because I can't show you right now, but the back of her ears have calico coloring, and she's multiple colors. So that's also why. But definitely a Siamese, snowshoe, calico. So that's Lumpy. This beautiful girl is Blue. She's always so shy, very timid. She's very sweet. Say she loves the pets. She loves pets. She's the shyest of every cat we have, but she's a good cat. So there's that part. So unfortunately, the only cat that I can't show you today is Kitten because she's hiding somewhere in the apartment and it's really hard to find her because she's black. But I hope you enjoyed meeting all of my pets, and I'll be making another video soon, I hope. If I get likes and comments on this video, I might end up making another one. So anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, share if you'd like. It's up to you. Anyways, I just enjoy making these videos for fun. I don't really get anything out of it, no money, so anyways, that's about it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.